Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another YouTube video. I am very glad to be here and sat with you again. From this whole journey, this aspect of it, sitting down and producing long format videos, is what I enjoy the most. That is my favorite aspect of it, and I always look forward to making these videos because it allows me to just slow everything down, slow myself down, slow my mind down, and just really get my thoughts out and actually think about the words that I want to say as well. And the words that I would like to start with is thank you very much for your support. I did not expect to receive as much support as I am receiving, even the views that I get, the messages that I receive. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. And the purpose of today's video is to discuss the most recent poem that I've released. Now, what we're really going to be discussing is the title of the poem. So that the title of the poem is The Message, and today I am here to discuss the message. But this video is more, it's not really to discuss the poem, it's the behind the scenes and my thoughts before, during, and after releasing the poem, which I feel is more important. The poem itself, so I would first like to tell you how the poem was constructed. So the poem was written 2 days ago. It was released yesterday, and it was written the day prior. And on the day that it was written, I was having a very good day by all accounts. I was in a joyous mood, in an energetic mood, in a positive mood, and in I was enjoying life, and I felt very connected to the people around me. I felt very connected to the world around me, and because I started to post on various social media platforms more often, I'm engaging with more people, which leads me to feel more connected with the world around me. And so my day on it was, I believe, it was Friday, so my day was going very well. And it got to about late evening, just a few hours before midnight, and then I saw the news of a racially motivated attack which occurred in Birmingham, and it completely deflated me. Absolutely, completely deflated me. And prior to hearing that news, I was in a very enthusiastic mood about life, about myself, about getting my poetry out into the world. And then I heard that news, and it was literally like the air being sucked out of a balloon. And I was just in a mood of complete deflation, and I lost all my enthusiasm at that point to for whatever I was doing, to even like to the point where I wouldn't say not wanting to release my poetry, but it sort of put things in perspective to say that there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, as we're all aware. And then from there, I thought to myself, how am I going to overcome these feelings of deflation? But I couldn't overcome them. They were sat with me, and then that eventually led to feelings of disgust at what had happened, and just trying to comprehend the situation that the UK is in right now, the country, and where there's a lot of propaganda being promoted by media organizations for the purpose of dividing the people. And I do feel that what the situation feels like in America, where it seems to be left versus right. Now that same situation is being played out in the UK, and immigration is being used as a tool to completely divide the people. But the poem itself, the poem, by the way, you can view the link for my Instagram and my TikTok is on my bio. So it's a very long poem, and I'm not sure whether it will fit in the description of the comments, but I'll try to add it in. So yeah, as I was saying, so it feels like immigration is being used as a tool to divide the nation and instill hatred in the hearts of men. And the poem went on to discuss a completely different perspective. It wasn't from the right perspective, from the left perspective. It was from, I would say, maybe a higher perspective, a more humane perspective, to say that who are the real perpetrators of where society is right now, and why are we programmed to focus on certain issues when there is a million and one things going on in the world. Now, the media can very easily promote positive happenings in the world that could be on the front page of every newspaper, of every news channel, and that would completely shift the perspective of the nation to say that yes, there is. It would lift the moods of the nation, but it seems like yeah, that's never been the case in modern society. But yeah, so the poem itself is to give a completely different perspective on the situation, which is to say that okay, this is happening. There is always issues going on in society, but who has the power to change or to resolve these issues and build a better future for all parties involved. Well, I've got a little sidetrack there because I did say that I'm not going to discuss the poem because it's very political. It is very political in a sense, and I don't really feel like that is the type of content that I want to, the type of content that I want to walk towards or just be to absorb myself and my viewers in. So I was in a mood of complete deflation when I wrote the poem, and it led to these very strong feelings. And then I knew at that moment, the second I started having these feelings and these very strong emotions, that it's time to write. And I went to, I parked up somewhere. I was driving at the time. I parked up. There was a song that I had been listening to the whole day. I put on that same song, and then the words just suddenly came to me. The poem, constructed itself. It's written in verses of six. So there's 6 lines and then it splits, another 6 lines and then it splits. And it does have a very nice order to it. And the I feel like it is written very well. And the message as well. The message that I'm really trying to say from the poem to is one of humanity, really, to say that we are all in this together, and playing the blame game is not going to resolve or better the situation. But I don't really want to speak on what's happening in the political world because I am not educated enough. I can only sort of speak from my personal experience. And then so from the once the poem was constructed, I did feel like it's a very powerful poem, and then I was very excited to share it. And so the next 24 hours from there was just getting the video recorded, getting it edited, and getting it released. And the second I released it, I again felt feelings of complete deflation. Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The second I released it, I just felt these feelings of complete deflation to say, and it was in a way that, yeah, you've discussed this for the last 24 hours. You've been focusing your energies on this issue, on this topic, and but how do you feel about it now? And so the journey started from deflation and it ended in deflation. And then from the few hours after I released the poem, I was just in a, I felt like I was in a state of limbo where I was asking myself, why am I doing this? In a way, I was asking myself, why am I doing this? And then I was just sat with these thoughts, just just sitting with them, just observing them to say that yes, I'm I'm surprised that I'm feeling like this because I am doing what I want to do, which is release my poetry. And yeah, just asking myself why I'm feeling like this. And I think one of the reasons for that is, now the reason why I prefer doing this long format is because it allows me to be honest with you. I can speak from my heart. I can slow myself down and think about my words and speak with honesty and authenticity. And I think with this social media game, it's very easy to get lost and drawn to the status, to the status side of it, the popularity side of it, the fame side of it, to say that my content is only worthy if it gains a lot of traction. So I think because I was excited to share this poem, were the thoughts that I was having, that yes, this may gain some traction. And then I released it, and then from the second I released it, I completely lost them thoughts. It's like they just left me in an instant. And then the next couple hours, I was just in a state of limbo. And then eventually, what I came back to, so after the few hours where I was just sat with these thoughts, eventually the message that really came to me was that this whole journey is just about me being myself, and that is the real message. The message is not a political one. The message is a very personal one, and one that one that restores energy within me. It allows me to center myself, and for me to remember why I have started this journey in the first place. And the reason I have started this journey is to express myself through poetry, and in the hopes that I can inspire others to do the same. Whether others do or not, that is irrelevant to me. That's completely irrelevant to me, because this is what is in my heart, and this is what I have an obligation to follow and to complete this task, to complete this mission until it's no longer a calling. So that's the real message from this whole journey. But having these moments, having these experiences, this experience which started from feelings of deflation and ended with feelings of deflation, and then eventually led me back to being centered back within myself. These experiences are part of the journey, just for the message to be reinforced within myself. And in a way, I feel like it allows me to going through these journeys, these small journeys of experiencing these emotions. What it allows me to do is step into the world, is to step into the happenings of the world, and from there it allows me to share my perspective on whatever the subject may be, whether it is a situation that's going on in the world or whether it's a personal experience. And then once I have expressed myself and shared it with the world, then I am now asked to come back within myself to refocus and to recenter myself continuing my walk. And that is, now that I think about it, that is a very beautiful aspect of the journey. And in a way you can imagine me being like a traveler maybe that is just on a walk through life, and there may be side quests that I might take. There might be paths to my right, paths to my left, where experiences are waiting for me, and it is my it is my duty, my obligation as a human being to give these quests some of my attention, just to experience these feelings, because ultimately I feel like we as human beings, we are here for the experience of being a human being, and to experience the emotions, the depths, the feelings, and the various situations that we get into. That is what makes life exciting. So yeah, that is the real message, which is just to be yourself. Very, very simply, to be yourself. And in a couple of my other social media platforms, what I have also been sharing is one of the ways you can allow yourself to be yourself is to remove any pressures and expectations that you place on yourself. And if you feel like there is any external pressures or expectations being placed on you, to remove them as well. And that will allow you to be your authentic self and just to be you, because we are all unique individuals. And yeah, I feel like I said before, we all have a gift and we all have something that we can offer to the world from our personal perspective. So that is the message. That is the message that I would like to share with you today. So it's completely irrelevant to the actual poem that I've written, but it's more the journey that I've gone through from writing the poem, from what's inspired the poem, to how I felt after completing the writing and releasing the poem into the world, which is to express my views on the happenings of the world, and then for me to come back center within myself, and then who knows where I most likely will take that journey again, where I am asked to share my perspective on a certain matter through poetry, and that may relate to other people, and it may open their mind up to say that yes, there is, like, we've not heard this type of perspective before. And that's why it's very important for you to be yourself, because you do have we all have our own unique perspectives, and if you can manage to share that with the world, however that is, whether it's through some type of art form, whether it is through just through your words, through anything, then it can allow others access to perspectives that they may have never considered. So yeah, these videos I do tend to do in one take, and they are all, there's no script involved, and these are just my thoughts that I'm trying to speak from my heart. And at this moment, I'm just trying to see whether there is any further conversation to be had on the poem that I've released. And I don't think there is. So I think the main happenings for me for this poem was just a journey that I've gone through writing the poem, and it did take me to that beautiful place. And it's I've been hearing a lot recently about the flow state, and when I'm writing poetry, it does feel like a flow state. But for me, I prefer to look at it from, you could say, maybe a spiritual perspective. I like to think that I am just in tune. I am tuned with a higher power, a higher force, and these words, they are coming to me because the poem that I've written, these are not, it's written about the current happenings of the world, but this is not something that I will read about in the news, or I will give my attention to it or energy. It may be sometimes it is just I've picked up little bits of information from here, little bits of information from there, and then when it's time to write, all these little bits of information, they all come together, and then they form a poem. And the whole process is, I find the whole process honestly absolutely beautiful, amazing, an amazing way to just express yourself, like any art form and like any type of creative endeavor that we may take. But anyway, I would like to end this video here. So again, thank you very much for your time, your energy, your attention. I hope that you are doing very well, and I hope that you are enjoying life, and I hope that you have the courage to be yourself, which is my message. That is the message I want to share with you, is to be yourself. And the question that I would like to leave you with is, what is your message? Thank you. Take care.